Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well day or night whenever you tune in. All right, so this is going to be a general reading for both zodiac signs, Libra and Scorpio. And since they're general readings, they can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, abundance, etc. And they are also timeless readings. So that means that they may resonate before or after the original time frame that we have set for the reading. So the general time frame for right now is from July 23rd to August 23rd. But for everybody, it will be different since time is fluid and relative. So whenever you see this message, it is meant for you, and hopefully there's something in here for you. If you find when you go through the reading that there isn't, make sure if you haven't already, check your sun, rising sign, and your moon sign, because depending on what's going on in your life, you may resonate more with your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign. Okay. Other thing I wanted to mention is that I do take a photo of all the readings that I post after the live is done in case you want to look at it again or see it more up close in detail. So if you want to check out the photos or anything else, the description of the tarot cards, what have you, all that stuff is in the description box below there. So I wanted to go ahead and just do a quick sound bell to help ground and provide some healing for myself and for you guys and kind of center ourselves for the reading. So Libra, I have pulled all of your cards ahead of time. But if you stay afterwards for the Scorpio reading, you will see me doing some shuffling. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our quick little sound bell here, and just be aware that if you're listening with headphones, sometimes it does get loud, or if you're sensitive to sounds. But it won't last too long, right? So feel free to take a deep breath and relax and kind of get in the zone of the reading. All right, here we go. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and put this over here for now. We will do another one later when we switch over to Scorpio. So again, I hope everyone's doing well, and welcome back, whether you are new or welcome if you're new too, right? Everybody is important. So we're talking about the card placement before we get into the reading. But basically, these first four main cards are going to be the 4.5 to 5 week time period that we're talking about. I kept saying yesterday that it was 4 weeks, but technically it's like 5 or 4.5 or whatever. Okay, so it's not exact, right? So again, we're talking about from July 23rd to about August 23rd. Okay. So each of these four cards corresponds to, about a week or a little bit more or less here or there. Okay, so the first card could be from around, and these are all just kind of examples, right? Nothing set in stone and will be different for everybody. But the first card could be from around July 23rd through July 31st, so to the end of the month. Second card could be from around August 1st through August 9th. Third card could be from around August 10th through August 17th. And the fourth card could be from around August 18th through August 24th. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck, since we're using two different decks. And then instead of an oracle card this time, I remembered that I have these rune stones So I pulled one for you ahead of time. Okay, so we'll do that at the very end. But yeah, let's go ahead and call out your cards here, Libra, and see what we have for you. All right, so you have the Six of Pentacles in the right side up position. You have the Six of Wands in the right side up position. You have the Ace of Wands in the right side up position. You have the Princess of Wands in the right side up position. And you do have three major arcana cards. Okay, so I won't call them out right now, but because they're in your top and the bottom of each deck, so we'll talk about it as they come up. But basically, that can signify a certain amount of change or heavier energies coming through. But since pretty much all of your major arcanas are in the past position, this could have already taken place for some of you guys. All right, so and I would also say that as far as an underlining theme for your reading here, when we count the minor arcanas, you have four wands cards and one pentacle and one cups card. So it's majority of wands. Okay, so it could be, when we talk about wands, we're talking about our defense systems, methods, right? So are my defenses too high? Are my defenses too low? Am I being a victim? Am I being a bully? Am I right in the middle? Am I more balanced, right? But also for some, not everybody, could be talking about health issues, because when we talk about wands and defense systems, our immune system is a defense system in itself too. So that's just kind of something to keep around in the background. It won't necessarily be for everybody, right? But I like to kind of talk about that before we get started. And the other thing too, when I do call out your three major arcana cards, you have your official card came through. So you have Libra energy here. You also have Sagittarius energy, and you have Libra again, and a little bit of Scorpio. It's kind of like two signs in one card. Okay, so that means for some, you could be dealing with another Libra, or it could be about you yourself. You could be dealing with a Sagittarius, you could be dealing with a Scorpio, or if it's not necessarily a particular person or multiple people, it could be that you have a lot of those energies in your own birth chart, or the other person's birth chart, or multiple people's birth charts, okay? Or it could reference a time frame. So the Libra season coming up this year, or the Scorpio season coming up this year, or the Sagittarius season coming up this year, or even from last year or multiple years ago, right? So I just like to call out, the major zodiac energies that I see as far as the major arcanas. Now, also real quickly, when we talk about wands, these are fire sign energies. So there is a lot of Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energies in your reading as well. And then of course you have one pentacle card, so earth energies, and one cups card, so water energy. So earth signs, water signs. So it's like a little bit of everything, but the majority of it is fire sign energy, and then your energy. And we said Scorpio, so that could be the water, right? And then also Sagittarius, that's the fire, and maybe an earth sign as well, okay? But let's go ahead and get started, because that was like a long kind of intro beginning here, but I just kind of wanted to cover everything. Okay, so when we talk about your first card, which you can't really see here, I'm going to try to move them down a little bit, and I will hold them up to the screen, and then again at the very end, I take a photo and I post it on my Facebook page. So anyway, but the first card in particular in your reading, and it can be all of your cards, right? But the first one in particular can be energy from the recent past, okay? So that will be different for everybody. It could be a couple of days ago, could be a couple of hours, could be weeks, could be months, could be years, right? But we have the Six of Pentacles in the right side up position here. Now, this is really interesting because I did the Virgo reading last night, and they had, I think, this card in the past position, all right? But this is also, even though the Six of Pentacles is technically earth sign energy, it also is Libra energy because it's 6 and 6, right? So Libra, ruled by Venus, you are always striving for balance, right? You're the balance, okay? So there's a little bit of your energy in here as well. But generally, when we talk about the Six of Pentacles, it's about giving back, right? So this guy we see here, this old man, right? He has six pentacles. He doesn't have two. He's got six, right? More than two. But he also doesn't have 10, which would be the highest number in tarot. But what he understands here is that if he gives back to others, he will get more in return. So here you kind of see him handing out some of his coins, some of his pentacles to these hands that are reaching out. So it doesn't necessarily mean here, Libra, that you have to give somebody money, right? Because time, energy, and knowledge translates in our culture to money, right? To coins, to abundance. So it's just an act of giving back to others. So giving back your time, giving back your energy, your company, your knowledge, your skills to others, so then you can move forward and get even more abundance in return. It's not why you do it, but it's like the universe is like, oh, I see what you're doing, so I'm going to respond. It's also for momentum, right? Progress, and it's a grateful energy. So this is really beautiful here to start off when you're reading here, Libra. And I want to go by and talk about why this card maybe came out in this position here for you. And again, the Six of Pentacles could be from around July 23rd to about the end of the month, July 31st, for some, right? So we have these two cards here, what we're going to talk about, which is on basically that what was on the top and the bottom of your deck, okay? And these are past energies that made it possible for this Six of Pentacles to come out. So you have the Justice card, hello, yay, that's you, right? Your official Libra card. And then you have the Five of Wands in the right side up position here, all right? So this could be saying that in the recent past or even further back, if it's not recent, it's just past energy in general, that there was you could have been more in your element, right? And we all have Libra somewhere in our chart, even if we're not a sun sign Libra. Or it could be also that you were striving for balance, you were striving for truth, you were striving for everything to be set in its place, right? To have the good morals and society, justice, Judeo, why did I say that? That was the wrong word. Justice systems, okay? And so however this, showed up in the past, right? We also have the little owl down by her side by Lady Justice, okay? So that's wisdom, right? Around those themes. And then, of course, her sword is going up. So that's a good thing. That means mental clarity. Even though this isn't technically a swords card, it's a major kind of justice card. It's still in the tarot. The swords represent that mental clarity. Okay. So then when you put it together with the Five of Wands, this is the playing, the practicing, the brainstorming card, right? So it looks like these guys are fighting, but they're not. They're practicing and playing and doing revision and how they're going to strategize for a potential war, or they're just having fun, right? Whatever it may be. Okay, so when you put all of these energies together from the past to lead to the Six of Pentacles here, it really makes sense because the Five of Wands also talks about our support systems, friends, family, mental health care worker, romantic partners, all those things, whatever your support system may be, right? So it's different for everybody. Okay, so they're coming together to, again, have you or another person, multiple people, general environment situation, take something not as seriously. When you have that Justice card energy, sometimes it can be a very serious energy. So then when this Five of Wands follows up for it, it kind of provides like a breath of air, okay? And all of these things led to that Six of Pentacles in the right position here. So led to this grateful energy of wanting to give back to others, your time, your company, your knowledge, your wealth, whatever it is. Okay, so beautiful here, Libra. I love to see it. All right, so let's move forward. I wanted to say really quickly here too before we get to your second card is that in these four cards, these 4.5 to 5 week time period that we were talking about, you really don't have any energetic blockages. The only one that you have comes at the very end in your confirmation card. So it's kind of just like letting you know that if you don't trust the flow, that, you won't necessarily continue on this beautiful for momentum, positive energy. So again, it's nothing to be scared of. It does happen all the way at the end. And when it happens in the confirmation card, it's more like a choice or a gentle reminder, right? To work on that energetic blockage if it does show up later in the future to kind of keep you on this path. Because, like I said, everything looks really good. And I need to remember where Libra is in my chart because this is a really good reading here, Libra. Leo got a really good reading. Obviously, it's Leo's season, but Libra, even though it's not your season, you do have some really beautiful cards here. So, with that being said, let's get into your second card. All right, and this is could be the time frame from around August 1st through August 9th or so, right? We have the Six of Wands in the right side up position, okay? Trying to make sure the glare, you can see the card here. So what we have is for momentum and progress as we see this man gallivanting on his horse moving forward. And what we see behind him is all these people that are really ready and rallying to have some type of celebration, okay? The Six of Wands is a supportive energy, it's a celebratory energy, but it's also like, he has these people behind him, right, that are ready to have a celebration because they kind of look in this deck, which is one I haven't used in quite some time. They look kind of tired, right? And they've got their wands up in the air, but they don't necessarily have the reefs quite yet, which you would see in the other more traditional Six of Wands energy, okay? But they're almost there to that celebration point, to that point where they will again feel more support and celebrate each other and vice versa, okay? So also this guy has to go through a little bit of water to get to that point where they can then rest and celebrate and support each other, right? So supporting each other can be just getting rest for ourselves first, right? So we can't pour from our cup if it's not full on its own and we take care of ourselves first. So, right, so that's the saying you're supposed to on the airplane. So you're supposed to secure the airplane mask that comes down, the oxygen mask on yourself first if there's an emergency before you're supposed to help anyone else. Okay, so that's kind of how I feel like these guys, what they're doing. All right, but we also have in this deck, there's the falcon on top of this guy's arm. Okay, so he's leading that group, right? He's their leader, so he has that skill, determination, and focus that's going to help them succeed if they haven't already. So again, celebrations could be coming up, a restorative, supportive energy here. So I love to see it for you, Libra. And then as we move forward to your third card, and like I said, you have wands, 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 wands. Everywhere there's wands, right? Your third card is the Ace of Wands, right? And that could be from around August 10th through August 17th or so. Again, not exact, but beautiful energy, right? The aces are fresh start, new beginnings, breath of fresh air energy, okay? We see the wand floating here in the air and the sun really huge in the background. And then we see some kind of elk I guess it would be an elk, right? But he's looking at almost the other side. He's watching the wand float in the air, the leaves fall down from it, okay? So when we talk about aces, it is also gifts from the divine, strengthening your individual gifts that you already have or you're learning to get more gifts, right? Learning new things. So it's very supportive of that. And so when we think of wands too, right, this is growth, abundance, forward momentum, progress, all those things. But the leaves falling down could signify the abundance, right? So the elk is looking up at it and it's like a natural feeling. It's just coming down. Okay. So also when we talk about wands, right? Fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, there is this birth of something new, birth of creativity, okay? But also, I would say to some people, some women in particular, right? If you are of the age or what have you, right? When the Ace of Wands shows up, it is a phallic symbol, right? So if you don't want to have any children at this time, just know that you could be super fertile here. But for the majority of people, it is the metaphor of being fertile. So again, birthing a new project, a new phase of your life, or age of your life, or whatever new cycle of something. Okay, so however you take it, right? It is really positive and it's beautiful. So I love to see it. I feel like your reading's going to be shorter than the others so far here, Libra, because it's just like really clear and straight to the point, and it's really positive. Okay. All right. So moving forward, now we get to your fourth card, the fourth week, right? 4.5, 5 week, whatever time period. So we said that this could be around August 18th through August 24th or 23rd, 24th, whatever. It's one day, okay? One day difference. And here we have the Princess of Wands in the right side up position. So this is really beautiful energy of somebody who's learning to become confident in their own power. They're learning to eventually be some type of leader, right? When I say leader or authority figure, if it's not necessarily you or the other person, general environment situation, having a role of being responsible and planning for others and being an actual physical leader. It could just be a leader in your own self, in your own power. But I say that because she's a princess and eventually she will become a queen, okay? But she's also not set in her ways because she's still learning. So it's this really beautiful energy. And when it follows the Ace of Wands too that you had before, right? It's like supportive even more of this fresh start energy, this creativity, this passion, the birthing of something new, right? Of supporting growth and learning. Okay, so really beautiful, however you may resonate with that. But I love to see it, a lot of abundance and growth. And abundance isn't just money, right? It's whatever you want to manifest in your life. Now, the other thing too, in the beginning of this reading, when I said wands can for some people represent health stuff, because wands bring up our defense systems, right? So if there was health issues for some in the recent past, or even currently where you are, it looks like things are going to get a lot easier as far as your health stuff, or someone in your family, your friends, your general environment situation. Okay, so really beautiful. All right, Libra, but we're not quite done yet before you go. We do have, like I said, your little confirmation card here. And we have also going to talk about what's in the top and the bottom of this deck along with this confirmation card. So this one card is confirming all four of these cards, all 4.5 to 5 weeks that we're talking about, the time frame, right? So we came out with the Prince of Cups in the reverse position. And I did confirm with Spirit to make sure that they want it reversed, right? And so it's not the end of the world. It's an energetic reminder, gentle reminder, or a little bit of a challenge, right? So like I was saying before, because this Prince of Cups is in the reverse position and all of your other cards here in the 4 cards are very positive, I feel like it's like, if you want this to continue, if you want this to stay the way that it is, right? Just remember that you need to, or the other person or multiple people, general environment situation, kind of make sure they work through their emotions. Remember how I said there's a little bit of water here in this deck, in this card with the 6 of Wands, right? So the water in the tarot represents our emotions, right? Or we put water in a cup if we're going to drink it, right? And we're not necessarily at the place where we're just drinking water like out of a river or whatever, what have you, okay? So obviously the cups are just the vessels that we put our water in if we're going to drink it. But when it's in the reverse position, the Prince of Cups here, right? It's like, okay, if we want, again, this for momentum, all this positive energy to continue, we need to accept also in certain ways that if there was an offer or communication that you wanted to give or somebody wanted to give to you, or just come in general from the universe, your angels, guardian angels, spirit guides, what have you, whatever you call it, right? That try not to let it overwhelm your emotions, or let it overwhelm the other person's emotions, or the multiple people's emotions, general environment situation, okay? Because it also could be a little bit of this energy here, Libra, where you are really counting and wanting for this offer or communication to come through that you're so worried that it won't, that you could manifest that too. Okay, that's another way to look at it. All right. So let's talk about why maybe this showed up here. Okay, so this is where Spirit wanted me to talk to you about what's on the top and the bottom of the other deck here, along with this Prince of Cups in reverse. So we have two more reverse cards, and not a big of deal, right? Nothing super crazy or whatever. But these are both past energies, and this is more present, future um, possibilities, probabilities, current energies. Okay. So what we have in the past is the Empress in the reverse position. Remember how I said that was Libra and a little bit of Scorpio energy. And then on the bottom, we have the Temperance card in the reverse position as well, which is Sagittarius energy. Okay. So it looks like in the past here, perhaps somebody wasn't, whether it's you yourself, Libra, someone you're dealing with, multiple people you're dealing with, companies, environments, what have you. Somebody was perhaps not planning for the future. They weren't operating from a place of being in their own power, okay? And they weren't, again, talk about emotions, processing their emotions in a more healthy, balanced way. Because if the Empress card was right side up, we see this pregnant woman sitting on her throne, okay? And she is the businesswoman of the tarot, the CEO, right? She delegates tasks, she has support all around her, okay? But what we see in this deck and this card is that there's a waterfall behind her, again, the water. So she channels her emotions in a positive way to make herself more abundant, okay, have more forward momentum and progress, okay? But it was in the reverse position. So it's a little bit, again, of somebody's emotions here, perhaps overwhelming them or could be overwhelming them about a communication that they really want to come through, or they think that won't be understood by others, or that it's going to be put on hold, or yeah, it could be a couple different scenarios depending on each one of you, since it is a general reading. All right, but when you also talk about the Temperance card in the reverse position, she also, just to show you as reference, I'll hold it right side up. She has water in her card, right? She's stepping 1 foot on land, 1 foot in the water, but she also has water in these two bowls that she's transmuting the energy kind of back and forth. She's pondering things, she's working through the emotions. But when it's reversed, again, somebody could be not wanting to do that, or it's really difficult to do that. There's a little bit of lack of balance, which when you talk about Libra energy, right, you had the Justice card show up in your own reading, that past energy at the beginning of the reading. That's always a good omen too, right? Then you have the Six of Pentacles, which also has Libra energy, and then you have the Empress card, which also has Libra energy, okay? So it's a lack of balance when you talk about the Temperance card in the reverse position, because normally it's balance between two different things, the land and the water, right? So that could be emotions and that could be material wealth. You could say the land is 3D and the water is 5D, spiritual stuff, emotions, okay, heart chakra, okay? So there was in the past some type of imbalance here, and also maybe a lack of patience too. Excuse me. With the Temperance card in the reverse position. Okay, so basically, this past energy is kind of what could make possible this Prince of Cups to be in the reverse position, but it hasn't happened yet, right? Nothing is set in stone. This is just the energy that we're picking up now. And of course, you always have free will. So if you want to, here, Libra, flip that Prince of Cups in the reverse position to then being right side up, and continuing on with all these really positive, beautiful cards here that you got in your reading, right? Look at that, right? Those are the cards that came out. It's just saying perhaps that maybe you need to be more patient and compassionate with somebody else's emotions if it's not your own, or provide space for someone or for yourself. But again, don't focus on the negative, right? And that's easy to say, but it's like there's always going to be positive and negative throughout life. Everything ebbs and flows and goes in cycles. But I'm trying to think of the right way I want to say it. It's really simple, but I'm having a hard time finding the right words. It's almost like Also, don't expect that for things to continue on this really positive for momentum, flow and path that they're on now, if you aren't putting in the effort, if the other person isn't putting in the effort to make this communication, to make this offer, whether it's you yourself, someone else to you, or multiple people to you, vice versa, or even the universe. It's like put in the emotional effort, right? Have something when we talk about cups and the water and the tarot, right? Again, showing the water over here and the water and the temperance and the empress card, right? All the water we just talked about. What I always say when I talk about the cups cards are what makes me emotionally fulfilled, emotionally content, emotionally happy. What are my emotional priorities, right? Always ask yourself that, ask that of others if you can. So then this can flip right side up, okay? So that's all I'm going to say about that. That was quite enough. So let's go ahead and talk about your rune card here, your rune stone, and then we'll go ahead and move to Scorpio. So I pulled it ahead of time, and it's really cute, and it's just a couple, like 2 paragraphs that I'll read to you. But you got, and this is from the cold. I'm sorry, I keep saying cold because they feel cold. It's the crone stones, not the cold stones. It's the crone stones. Okay, so hopefully the camera will let you see it. But it's like this little woman looking in the mirror at herself. Okay, so maybe, yeah, if I stay right there. Okay, so this stone is called Beauty and True Self. Okay, so this stone represents both their obligations to look good and to behave a certain way. And of course, Libra, you're ruled by Venus, right? Beauty, we talked about that. Okay, so it says, how much time have we wasted by foregoing the needs of the true self and succumbing to society's demands? Likewise, how often have we raised our expectations of others, but we were disappointed later because they did not fit our own ideals? There is so much pressure for a woman to be perfect, 38 by 24 by 36, blonde, with 2.5 children, a cozy home, and a rich husband. Okay, so if they're talking about women, switch it. If you're a man, switch it. If you are binary, whatever. It's just the metaphor, okay? And it says, okay, so, and a rich, cozy home and a rich husband. That you wonder how we even have a chance to succeed at all if we don't fit within these guidelines from society. How easy it is to focus all our energy for beauty of the external self and nothing else. No one wants to look like Rumpelstiltskin, but the majority of women in the world are built that way. Oh, wait, what? That doesn't make sense. Why did I say Rumpelstiltskin? Okay, I just made that up. It says no one wants to look Rubenesque. Oh my gosh. Okay, Rumpelstiltskin. That is interesting that I said that because, right, he's supposed to be ugly. So it's still kind of what we're talking about, but that's not what it originally had. Okay. Anyway, going back. So majority of it, we'll get to the end here. It says, if you got or pulled the beauty stone, it's time to get in touch with your needs. Look for options about how to care for yourself. Take a bath with candles, start biking, hiking, or do a self-blessing, whatever grounds you. Look for things you like about yourself. What are some of the special features that make you unique? As you develop an understanding of the beauty within yourself, you will learn a magical appreciation and connection to the beauty of the animal world, nature herself, and others in your life, like you have never had before. All right, so that's beautiful. I like it. It's really straight to the point. So, like again, I said I will be posting a photo of all your cards here in the little stone after the live is done if you want to come back and check it out. But thank you guys so much, as always, for your energy, for your views, for your shares and likes. They're all great free ways to support my channel here. So, really appreciate it. And always feel free to let me know how things play out for you here, Libra. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle all the cards and switch our energy over to Scorpio. So let's go ahead and do that. And it got super quiet because I like have a little music, just so my animals continue their calm energy and slumber. All right, so we'll go ahead and throw these randomly in the deck here. And do a bunch of shuffling in just a moment. Okay, and we'll charge our crystals here on the decks as well. We'll put the little stone back in here. And we'll pick another one for Scorpio in a little bit. All right. So let me just switch it. And what time are we at? We're at 35 minutes. Okay. So I will be putting timestamps afterwards for the people who will be joining us after the fact. All right. So yes, before we start shuffling though, I do want to do a quick little sound bell to clear out Libra's energy, refocus and center for Scorpio. So just take a deep breath if you want to, just vibe and listen. Just be aware to get a little loud in case you're listening with headphones or something like that. So, all right. Here we go. That was good. Okay, let's put this one over here. And let's go ahead and shuffle for Scorpio. All right. And again, this is going to be a general reading just like Libra's. So it can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, money, abundance, etc. All the things. All right. So always keep that in mind. These cards are huge. Sorry. I haven't used these in a minute. And they always gotta bend them. There we go. All right. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for water sign Scorpio, the Scorpion for July 23rd to August 23rd. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for Scorpio. For water sign Scorpio for their highest vibration for July 23rd to August 23rd, Scorpio. Messages for water sign Scorpio for their highest vibration. Ugh. I cannot get a hold of it. Hold on, guys. Okay. It's okay because I do my fish pond at the end anyway and I mix them all up, but I really wanted to do this a couple times. I just had too many in that one. Okay. Scorpio, what do they need to see? What do they need to know? July 23rd through August 23rd. I'll do my fish pond. All right. It's much easier this way with the big cards anyway. Okay. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for water sign Scorpio for their highest vibration. For July 23rd through August 23rd. Messages for Scorpio. For water sign Scorpio. For July 23rd through August 23rd. Messages for Scorpio for their highest vibration. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Messages for Scorpio. Messages for Scorpio, water sign Scorpio. For July 23rd through August 23rd. Okay. I do see an extra card is under there. I'll confirm with Spirit if they want it or not. It might have just got stuck under my crystal. It didn't flip out. I didn't draw it per se, but we will check in a moment. So I'll go ahead and flip it over. All right. So I'm going to confirm with Spirit real quickly how they want these cards to be received. This one came out sideways. So it could, of course, go either way. So start it like this and see what they want. Spirits, do you want the Eight of Cups in the right side up position to represent the second tarot card for this Scorpio reading? No. Okay, so they want it reversed, right? Spirit, you want the Eight of Cups in reverse position to represent the second tarot card for this Scorpio reading, correct? Okay. And then we have another reversal. We'll check here real quickly. Spirits, do you want the King of Swords in the reverse position to represent the fourth tarot card here for this Scorpio reading? Okay. And Spirit, you want the Eight of Swords in the right side position to represent the third tarot card for this Scorpio reading? Yes. And Spirits, do you want the Six of Pentacles in the right side position to represent the first tarot card for this Scorpio reading? No. Okay. Spirits, do you want the Six of Pentacles in the reverse position to represent the first tarot card for this Scorpio reading? Okay. And I don't know what they want to do with this. So, Spirits, do you want an additional fifth card for this Scorpio reading? They said no. So, I'm going to put it back in here in the middle. But since I haven't really moved the deck of cards, we're also going to take this from the top and all the way at the bottom. All right. And then we'll just move these over here for now. Okay. Spirits, do you want the rebirth card here to represent what's on top of this? What is this deck called? The Celtic Druid Tarot deck? Spirits, do you want the rebirth card to represent what's on top of the Celtic Druid deck for this Scorpio reading? Okay. Spirits, do you want the rebirth card in the reverse position to represent what's on top of this Celtic Druid deck here for the Scorpio reading? Okay. And Spirits, do you want the Ten of Swords in the right side of position to represent what's on the bottom of this Celtic Druid tarot deck for the Scorpio reading? Okay. So we'll leave that there. I'll confirm with Spirit where exactly they want the top and the bottom. But let's go ahead and get one card from this tarot deck as well. All right. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Scorpio. Scorpio. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for water sign Scorpio for July 23rd through August 23rd, Scorpio. Spirits, only one card, please. Spirits, guide my hands. Spirits, guide my hands. One card, please, for Scorpio. One additional card here for Scorpio for July 23rd through August 23rd. Water sign Scorpio, the Scorpion. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Scorpio. Okay, let me just confirm. Spirits, you want the 5 stays in the right side of position here represent the one and only tarot confirmation card for this Scorpio. Yes, they do. Okay, so then we take the top and the bottom, and then we'll just confirm with Spirit how they want these cards received, right? Since one's reversed and one's right side up. Spirits, do you want the Queen of Sacred Circles in the reverse position here to represent what's on top of this Ancestral Path Tarot deck for this Scorpio reading? Yes. Okay. And Spirits, do you want the Fool card in the right side up position to represent what's on the bottom of this Ancestral Path Tarot deck for this Scorpio reading? Yes. Okay. So they want them like that, and then now we need to find out where they want them. Okay. So let's see. I have a feeling that maybe goes there, but I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay, let me confirm real quickly. Spirits and love and light, thank you for your wisdom, advice, guidance given. Spirits, do you want the Queen of Sacred Circles in the reverse position and the Fool in the right side up position to be talked about when I talk about the Eight of Cups in the reverse position? Yes. Okay, thank you. And Spirits, do you want me to talk about the rebirth, the reverse card, the rebirth card in the reverse position, and the Ten of Swords in the right side up position to be talked about when I talk about the King of Swords in the reverse position? Okay, they said yes. So that is All good. So all we need now is our little rune stone. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. Sorry, it's a little loud. Okay. Spirit guide my hands. One stone. The Scorpio. Water sign Scorpio. Yeah, that was fast. All right. Okay. So I won't say what it is yet until the end, but I'll go ahead and just leave the page open since I don't have these ones memorized. And we'll talk about it at the end. Page 42. Okay. So we'll leave those ones over there. And we will take a picture right now so I don't forget, Scorpio, of your cards. And then we'll get started. And just move everything down kind of to make sure everything's kind of straight. All right, let's do it. Just give me 1 second. Take that off the charger. Okay, it's good enough. There's no glare on the cards. All right. All right, Scorpio. So we've got everything now all in its place. So let's go ahead and start your reading. 1 second here. In my coffee sip. Okay. Turn on my timer, even though I usually don't pay attention, but it's just kind of there to let me know the general time frame. And actually, let me move over the cards a little bit so you guys can see more of the placements a little bit. Maybe I'll do it like that. Okay, so you can kind of generally see where they're at. But again, if you want to see the picture that I just took after the live, all you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the instructions on how to get to my Facebook page, and then you'll see it there. All right, so let's see what we have for you, Scorpio. All right, so we do have, let's see. We have really only one major arcana for you, okay? So that's not necessarily a good or a bad thing. It's in the past position, but major arcanas do talk about a certain amount of change coming up, or if it's in the past position here, perhaps it's already taken place. It can be more of a heavier energy if you've got like all major arcanas in your reading, but you only have one. So we'll talk about that. And it is Gemini energy. So you could be dealing with a Gemini, Scorpio, or you have a lot of Gemini in your chart, or the person you're dealing with has a lot of it in their chart, or multiple people, a company, corporation, what have you, or just the general environment situation. It could also refer to astrology, right? It could talk about past Gemini season that we had this year, or even from previous years, what have you. So just want to talk about some of the other energies that I see here in your reading before we get too deep into it, okay? And then we have for you, we've got, let me count. We've got 3 swords cards, okay? So when we talk about the minor arcana, we can talk about a theme that's underlining the reading. Then you have, only 1 cups card. Okay, so it's definitely not cups. We've got a pentacle, so 2 pentacles. And then we have 1 wand, so it's not wands, it's not pentacles, so it looks like it might be swords. Now, I want to check real quickly here, guys. This rebirth card, it is, I don't know if it's supposed to be the world card traditionally, so I want to check something real quickly because I have the little box right here. Sorry, guys. That was what was holding the computer, so. I don't know. I think it's probably the world card, but I want to double check. If I can open this. Okay. Sorry, Scorpio. You're like, get your stuff together, Malessea. I know I usually do, or try to. I just don't know what that card is. So let me double check. Rebirth. Is that supposed to be the Wheel of Fortune? I think it's the Wheel of Fortune. Well, let me double check. Let's go see page 74. So I'll write that down. Interesting. It tells me the meaning of it, and I already know, just from looking at the imagery what it means, but I just wanted to know if that was like the official Wheel of Fortune card or something, because that's the only other one. They also have a Cronus card. Because they have the World card. And the Cronus one, let me just double check. Make sure that's not the. Okay. It doesn't really say. So we'll just take it as it is and go with it, because I guess they don't have a Wheel of Fortune in this deck. They have a couple cards that are, oops, I should put that back where it was under the computer. They have a couple cards that aren't the typical names of stuff. So I just wanted to double check. Okay, hold on. I'm just messing up everything, but it's okay. I'll get it. Hopefully, still good. All right. So anyway, Scorpio. Where were we? We were just talking about your major arcanas and minor arcanas and what might be an underlying theme for your reading here for some people, maybe not everybody. So it's still, the majority of it is still swords, okay? So some are right side up, some are reversed. We'll talk about that later, right? Because not all reversals are bad, but the swords in tarot represent our logical mind, our crown chakra, right? Our mental health. So it's like, is my mental health good or bad? Is it being taken care of? Am I overthinking too much? Am I not thinking enough? Or am I in the right kind of balanced place? So that could be a theme, an underlying theme with a reading. And again, Scorpio, this could be about you or about someone you're dealing with, or multiple people, general environment situation. Okay. So now let's go ahead and call out the cards and get ahead and go ahead with the reading here. All right. So again, each of these 4 cards at the top are going to represent the 4.5 to 5 week time period that we're talking about here, from July 23rd to August 23rd. Okay. So the first card here could be from around July 23rd to July 31st. Okay. So the end of July. The second card could be from around August 1st through August 9th, right? It's not set in stone. It's just kind of like an example, okay? And then we have the third card could be from around August 10th through August 17th. The fourth card could be from around August 18th through August 23rd, 24th. Okay. All right. So we have the 6 of Pentacles in the reverse position here. We have the 8 of Cups in the reverse position. We have the 8 of Swords right side up. We have the King of Swords in the reverse position. And then we'll talk about what these guys on the bottom, the top and the bottom, when we're on those individual cards that it corresponds to. Okay. And then we'll talk about the confirmation card over here at the end as well. All right. So yeah. So interesting, I forgot to say too that if you were here for the Libra reading, they had 2 6s in their cards, for the number, and you guys have 2 8s. Okay, so if you're into numerology, I would look that up. I'm not really familiar with numerology, so I don't know off the top of my head what 8 represents, but that could be a message for somebody, right? But doesn't necessarily have to be. All right, so let's start here. Now, this is really interesting, Scorpio. Scorpio, when we talk about your first tarot card, it's always could be energy from the recent past, right? I always say that. And the recent past will be different for everybody. It could be a couple days ago, months, hours, weeks, years, etc. But what is interesting about it is not necessarily that, right? What's interesting is that this 6 of Pentacles card has come out in 3 readings now. So when that happens, it could be something going on in the collective unconscious or even the collective conscious, the astrology, the world, something like that. Okay. When it keeps coming out in the same place, same card, there's something going on there. Okay. But for you, Scorpio, in particular, this time the Six of Pentacles is in the reverse position. Okay. So let me go ahead and show you the card because you're like, I want to see it. Or maybe you're saying that. If you're not just listening, sometimes people just listen. But yeah, so when the Six of Pentacles shows up in the reverse position here, in the week that we're in now until the end of July, right? There could be a little bit of this energetic blockage or gentle reminder, as I like to call it, where perhaps something is not balanced and perhaps either you yourself is not giving back enough in some way or the other person is, multiple the world, something to do with astrology, right? Because this card keeps coming out, okay? So it came out in the last two or three readings, right side up in the same position, but yours is reversed, okay? So it could be that some of you that have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, if you're not a sun sign, rising sign, moon in Scorpio, right? Because we all have Scorpio somewhere, that there's something out of balance. And again, someone is not necessarily in a grateful, paying it forward kind of energy here, okay? Because normally, right, this guy is giving some of his coins to the hands that are out asking, okay? So it's not about just giving money, it's about giving time, energy, knowledge, your company to someone else, okay? And so here in this reverse position, it's a little bit of like somebody doesn't want to do that, or the energy isn't supporting that, or the environment isn't supporting you to do that if it's about you here, Scorpio. But it's not the end of the world. Like I say, everything ebbs and flows, and we all have times where we're in that mode or we're in that environment in some way or form. Okay, so let's keep going forward. I don't want to spend too much time on that card, just because we've got a lot kind of going on here for you, Scorpio, which doesn't surprise me because you're Scorpio, right? I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart too, so and I have friends and my mom and lots of people who are Scorpios. But I say that with love because, right, water signs in general can be intense sometimes in certain ways, right? So, I mean, every sign can be intense, but it was kind of meant as a joke, but it maybe didn't come out that way. So, anyway, moving on. Moving on. Your second card here, Scorpio, is the Eight of Cups in the reverse position. And this can kind of be normally taken as good or bad in other readings, but I see it as a good thing because of what the cards are underneath it, the ones where we talk about why this card maybe shows up. So first, let's talk about what the card means. All right, so we have the Eight of Cups in the reverse position. When it's right side up, it's somebody going to take time to figure out what's in their cups, right? So cups being emotions and water, okay? So they're taking a break, okay? So I don't see the Eight of Cups when it's right side up as a bad thing. It's just somebody's going off, emotionally, energetically, or even physically to kind of figure these things out, right? What's in my cup? Okay, how do I make it fulfilled and full so I can keep drinking it? But it's in reverse. And with the cards that are underneath it, I feel that it is in a good position because now it's saying here, Scorpio, that either you figured out what your emotions were trying to tell you, or the other person, or multiple people, a general environment, right? Because now when it's in the reverse position, it means that this person or this energy or this place is now more emotionally clear about what they want or don't want, okay? Now, when we talk about the cards underneath it, this is past energy that supports this card that made it possible for this card to come out in this position, okay? So what we have on the top of your deck is the Queen of Sacred Circles, or Queen of Pentacles as it's known, in reverse position. And then we have the Fool card right side up on the bottom of your deck. Gemini energy, maybe even a little Sagittarius, but mainly Gemini, I would just say Gemini, okay? And so this is basically saying here, Scorpio, that in the past, in some way, perhaps somebody wasn't feeling supported, wasn't feeling nurtured, They didn't have the grandmother energy with the child, right? They weren't feeling particularly abundant. They weren't feeling particularly um, not only supported nurturing energy, but supported by their support system, whatever that may be, right? Friends, family, romantic lover, partner, right? Mental health care worker, etc. They weren't feeling supported. But when this happened in the past, okay, a person or an energy, right? It became a catalyst for the Fool card to come in. Now, the Fool card is, one of the first cards in the tarot. So it's all about endings and new beginnings. Okay, so it's fresh start energy, it's leap of faith energy, it's making a choice to trust in something that you don't necessarily know what's going to happen or you can't see. Okay, so that's what made this possible for someone to finally figure out what was in their cup, what their emotions were telling them or doing to them or the other person, vice versa. So then they could, have some type of um, new beginning or trust in something they couldn't see. Also, with the Fool in this deck in particular, it can talk about in the past there was perhaps some issues of ego and identity with the mirror behind the tarot reader here. Okay, so the Fool card, right? Like, am I going to look foolish to myself and to others? Do I care? That kind of thing. If I trust in what I'm going to make the leap of faith for, do I really care about those things and how it may look? Okay. But so this is just kind of a little bit about how this card or this energy was made possible by. Okay. That sounds so funny. It sounds like I'm made possible by, feels like what you hear at the end of a TV show or a film, like the sponsor. But yeah, we could say, maybe I'll start saying that the top and the bottoms are like sponsored cards. Anyway, let's keep going here, Scorpio. So you start off the reading, just to go backwards and summarize a little bit before we go forward again, is you started off with a little bit of this energetic blockage, stagnant energy. Then you start to have some more movement or mental clarity around some type of emotional thing, leap of faith, right? And going forward and getting more support or wanting more support. And then we go backwards a little bit as far as the energy, because your third card is the Eight of Swords in the right side up position. So when I say we go backwards, it's like you were starting to make progress with the other person, multiple people, general environment, and then something happens or triggers you or triggers them, where we have this now trapped, literally tied and bound energy. Okay, she can't see. All the swords are going down, and the swords in the tarot represent, right, our mental health. So it would be anxiety, worry, overthinking, right? Too much up in the crown chakra. Okay, so this could be around, what did I say, August 10th through August 17th. This energy could show up around this time. But it is, it's interesting because your next cards following it kind of say that even though this is not, nobody wants to be feeling tied up and bound, nobody wants to feel trapped or have a lot of anxiety, worry, overthinking, but it almost slows it down for a reason, right? Everything, of course, even the bad stuff usually happens for a reason. It's bringing up wounds that need to be healed or looked at, so then you can, or the other person can evolve to a higher vibration. Okay. So let's move forward, because this is where we're going to talk about all three of these cards here. So we go from the Eight of Swords as your third card in the right side up position to now the King of Swords in the reverse position. Okay. So it's like you're almost staying in the Eight of Swords, right? Because the King is reversed. So it's like you could have more properly balanced mental health, or the other person could have, or multiple people, or general environment situation, but it's almost like you stay here, because if he was right side up, then it'd be like, yes, now I have mental clarity, now I have support, now I have abundance moving forward. But he's reversed, so it's almost like you're staying, or they're staying in this Eight of Swords energy, where something is keeping them there, something is stressing someone out to the point where it is just overwhelming them, right? That overwhelming feeling. And they perhaps can't stop, or they're feeling like they can't stop. But you can always know that in time things ebb and flow and will change. But let's talk about past energy, the sponsor cards. These cards made it possible for, and past energy made it possible for the King of Swords in the reverse position to show up here. Okay, so past and future, current, present energies. So what do we have here? That's that rebirth card. I didn't know what it was, and it could be the Wheel of Fortune, but we're just going to say that it's the rebirth card because that's what it is, right? And the thing is, though, it's in the reverse position. And then next to it, on the bottom of this deck, you got the Ten of Swords in the right side up position. So again, anxiety, worry, overthinking, being mentally exhausted in the past. So perhaps, Scorpio, if this is about you or someone you're dealing with or multiple people, general environment situation, maybe that's how you were taught to deal with this particular situation in the past. If it's about love, if it's about money or health or what have you, or all those things, right? Maybe it was somebody's, what do you call it, like negative programming in their mind, or the way that they were raised, or the way that they operated, for a certain amount of time. And maybe it was like that's just what they resort to in a certain way. Okay. But it really only ends up hurting them, right? Or hurting you if it's you. But let's just focus on these two for a second. Okay. So with the rebirth card in the reverse position, it might as well be the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse position, okay? Because it is stagnant energy, and it is an energetic blockage, and it means that somebody doesn't necessarily want things to change, or there's a resistance or hesitancy to change, okay? So the rebirth card, right, standing right side up here, just so you can see, we've got the rabbit, we've got the child that looks like he's from the sun card, right? That youthful energy. And then we've got the guy blowing the horn here for some type of ceremonial. It could even be, right, if we're talking about the Celtics, right, it could be not necessarily summer solstice because it's a rabbit. So it could be the spring equinox, maybe. It could be lots of things, right? But basically, it is rebirth, renewal, growth, right? That fresh start energy, almost similar to the World card as well, but it was in the reverse position. Yeah. Like, how did it what? Yeah, it was like this. Okay. So there is just a little bit, again, we're talking about these with that King of Swords in the reverse position. This energy of maybe not trusting that the rebirth is going to happen, not trusting that the support will come back, not trusting that the money will come back, that the better mental health will come back, not trusting that the love will come back, whatever it is. It's like just yeah. It's really about your thoughts, right? And we talk about the swords, we talk about mental health, we talk about a logical mind, our crown chakra. Our thoughts are create our reality. They create vibrations, even the words you speak. There's the what is it called? I think it's in China or Tibet, where they have these prayer bells where words are written on the outside. And as the monks walk by and they roll the drums, the inside of the drum is hitting those words, and almost like someone is speaking those words again. Those vibrations are going out again and again and again. And so they believe that that is, sound magic, they wouldn't say it necessarily magic, right? But sound vibrations create reality, and it's impressing those prayers every time they ring the bell on the world. That energy is coming out for the world, okay? And so, that's what I always try to tell people, and of course remind myself that as well, because nobody's perfect, right? So just be careful, Scorpio, or if you're dealing with someone else too, if it's not necessarily about you, or an environment, or what have you, or the astrology world, right? Whatever it is, to just be aware of words, right? How powerful they are. Okay. Moving forward, Scorpio. let's talk about your confirmation card because it's really positive, and it's like it is so nice to see after kind of this more difficult energy that we've been working through. So your tarot confirmation card here is confirming all four cards are all four and a half week to 5 week time period that we've been talking about. Okay. So you got the five of staves in the right side up position, also known as five of wands. Okay. So this, I say, is the redo energy, the reworking, revising, brainstorming card. Okay. So in other decks, you'll see five guys. They look like they're fighting, but they're not fighting. They're playing and practicing. In this deck, we see four Egyptian architects. Okay. They're sitting down with the paper, their architectural paper, whatever you call it. But they hopefully they have some type of eraser, right? So architects are going to revise. They're working together, like let's put this pyramid over here or this structure building over here. No, let's do it this way. But the point is, they're all working together. So it represents support systems and it represents taking things less seriously. Okay, this is so very much needed here, Scorpio. Like all this was just like very heavy, except, the Eight of Cups reversed. So I would say three of the cards were very heavy. This one wasn't really. It was different. But either way, this is needed, okay? So to rely on your support system, your friends, family, romantic partners, mental health care worker, whatever it is, to remind you that not everything is set in stone. And people do want to help you and they want to create a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Excuse me. So that means that things are going to change, right? So we have to have more flexibility to go with the flow as things change. As human nature. People change their minds all the time, right? So if you've created a plan and you've only got one plan and then other people change, then it's like, okay, you've got to make another plan. You've got to be like, okay, it's not always going to be set in stone. Let me be more flexible. All right. So this is what I think is really needed here that will help you through some of this more harder energies. All right. So Scorpio, that is what we have as far as the tarot. But before you go, real quickly, we have your little rune stone here, and it looks like a little pregnant lady, and she's really cute. So hopefully you can see it. All right. So I believe this is called the mother card, right? A little pregnant lady. So I'll read real quickly, just these, I think it's just two paragraphs. Oh no, it's more, but I'll try to sum it up for you. I won't read all of it, okay? All right. So it says, the mother is the nurturer, the care provider. She watches over everything. She is everywhere and everyone and everything at once. Her energy spreads over the worlds, connecting all of the wait, what? Her energy spreads over the worlds, connecting all. Okay. She remembers the mother of antiquity is Hera, the mother, and the month of June is named after her. Her symbol, her symbols are the rose and the oak is the tree of life. Sadly enough, Hera is remembered today for her anger and her jealousy in Greek myths. But if we look further back than that, her behavior is that of a mother appalled by the mistreatment of her children by the antagonist. Hero literally means Hera's men in Greek, and it was the farmers of agro plains. Do they mean what? Agro plains. Do they mean Argos? I think they left a S off. Okay, anyway, Argos plains. That doesn't make sense either. Who remained loyal to Hera and the older agricultural culture against the sky god following the invaders of the north. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. What does it mean when you pull this card? Enough about Hera. Let's see. Hera, no. Let's see. The mother represents the divine aspect necessary for human happiness and fulfillment. She, as mature woman, is woman in her fullness. The earliest accounts of Hera are of singing songs about love and body holiness. Hera was known as the most compassionate one. Okay, her animal totem is known as the fierce lion, protective and strong. It says when the mother isn't fully tapped, she experiences excessive worry or loss of self because she has lost her sight of her own spirit and now only lives to care for others. She can become suffocating to her children because she has become dependent on them for life support. Okay, so basically, Scorpio, right, with all the anxiety, worry, mental health stuff we were talking about, is that like if you don't take care of yourself first, right, then you don't give the proper nutrients to others in your life, even if you're not pregnant, right? So if the mother doesn't eat, the baby doesn't eat. Okay, that's kind of how I would summarize that because it goes on and on. But yeah, that's that's what I would definitely say. So hopefully that gave you something there and confirmed some of already what we talked about. Okay, Scorpio. So make sure you eat, right? But more importantly, take care of yourself in all the other ways. Continue to ground yourself, right? When there's too much air energy, anxiety, worry, overthinking, always do things that bring you back to your body. Watch a comedy, go for a walk, talk to your friends, right? Rely on your support system, and just make sure you take care of yourself, okay? All right, Scorpio, I love you guys. That is your reading. So thank you so much for your views, guys, and for your shares and your likes of the video. It does help the channel. They're all free ways to support the channel. So I really appreciate it. So if you haven't already and you want to subscribe, all you have to do is click on the bell icon on the bottom right. If you have a YouTube account, which is also free, then you just subscribe and it just lets you know when I put out new videos. So yeah, and also if you want to see the picture that I took, I will be posting it shortly after this on my Facebook page. So you can look at it in more detail if you want to. So it is available for you there. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take a break, and then hopefully in a little bit we will be back with Sagittarius and Capricorn. So you're also always welcome to join us for that as well. But if not, that's okay too. So take care, and I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.